Good morning, my dear friends. I hope you all are doing great. So today we'll be talking about the applications of first law of thermodynamics. So in this we'll be talking about isobaric process. We'll be talking about isothermal process. We'll talk about adiabatic process. And we'll talk about isochoric process. Everybody is aware about the first law of thermodynamics, and that is ours: change in internal energy is equal to Q plus W. That is the mathematical expression of first law of thermodynamics. So I'll call it as mathematical form of first law of thermodynamics. So let us see its application. Let's suppose with respect to any one process we'll take on, either we'll take isobaric process first. Let's take isobaric process. So let us understand isobaric process with respect to first law of thermodynamics. Everybody is aware that in isobaric process, pressure is constant. Here, P is constant. Correct? So if we draw a graph here, you may be aware about the Boyle's law, that pressure-volume relationship. Pressure is inversely proportional to the value. That is Boyle's law. Okay? My dear friends, we will draw a graph between pressure and volume, my dear friends, here. But we are being told that process is isobaric. If we go for Boyle's law, you will see that if pressure increases, the value will what? Decrease. That is the inverse proportionality. But here, the condition in this process is that pressure is constant. So when pressure is constant, that means delta P, change in pressure, will be how much? 0. So how can I represent a graph between pressure and volume where pressure is constant? So I will draw a line which is parallel to which axis? X-axis, and this is Y-axis. So this line will tell me that the pressure is constant along this particular line. But if you look at the value, my dear friends, if you look at the value is changing here. So value is changing, but the pressure is constant. So this line will represent actually isobaric process. Because along this line, the pressure will be constant. So this is the constant pressure right out here at this point. So my dear friends, if I apply the first law of thermodynamics and understand this process, okay, have a look here. Delta U is equal to Q plus W. We are aware about this, my dear friends. So I can write down here, in place of W, we can introduce, we know that we have already derived this expression that W is equal to minus P external delta V. So in place of W, I can introduce minus P external delta V here. So I will write down delta U is equal to Q. So my dear friends, in place of W, I can introduce minus P external delta V. And we know that this factor is constant. This guy is constant, my dear friends. So P external is constant. So what is my actual expression for isobaric process now? Delta U is equal to Q. Okay. I will write down here P minus P external delta V. The meaning is that heat is absorbed at the constant pressure. Or QP stands for heat absorbed at constant pressure, will change the internal energy of the system. Because why do I mention here QP? Because we know that already pressure is constant. So heat absorbed at constant pressure is equal to the change in internal energy. Yes. So here the internal energy is changing by two factors. Yes. So here we have change in internal energy. Internal energy. So in isobaric process, internal energy is changing by two factors. What is that? QP stands for heat absorbed by system at constant pressure. Now look here, man, if we see this particular term, it is negative P external delta V. Let us suppose now whether it's a work of compression or work of expansion, it depends upon this delta V now. Let us suppose if delta V is negative, then negative into negative will become positive. So work will be done by the system, will be done on the system. And now if in place of it delta V, if I write down Vf minus Vi, and initial value is greater than the final value, let us suppose, then negative and negative will be what? Positive. So work is done on the system. Once again I am telling you, if Vf is greater, that means final value is greater and initial value is small, that means expansion is happening. Yes? So this will be a positive value, positive into negative will be what? Negative only. That means work is done by the system. Yes? So my dear friends, this term if we explain right out here, the change in internal energy is due to the heat absorbed by system at constant pressure. Yes? And if we go to the previous expression plus W, it means work is done on the system, not by the system. Yes? So let's explain it a little further. So my dear friends, have a look there. Delta U is equal to QP minus P external delta V. I told you that the change in internal energy is due to heat absorbed by the system at constant pressure. But now the confusion is here, whether it's a work of expansion or a work of what? Compression. So it will totally depend upon delta V here. Let us see. It will depend upon delta V. Let us suppose delta V is equal to V final minus V initial. In this particular case, if V initial is greater than V final, that means initial is greater than final, then what is happening? Compression. So when compression is happening, understand that delta V value will be here what? Come on, negative. So for the compression, work of compression, delta V value is negative. So if I put a negative value of delta V here, now what will be the product with me? Delta U is equal to QP minus P external, and in place of delta V I will write down negative sign here. So negative into negative will become what? Positive. So finally the work done will be positive here. That means work is done on the system and the internal energy of the system will increase. Now one more situation is also here. So what is that situation? For this expression I am talking about. Let us suppose the delta V, we know it's Vf minus Vi. Let us suppose here Vf is greater than Vi, and it means it's a work of expansion, And you know that Vf is greater, so delta V will be positive. So if I put a positive value here for delta V, what I will get? Delta U is equal to QP minus P external into plus, because delta V is positive here for the work of expansion. So my dear friends, now plus into minus will be what? Minus only. That means work will be negative. That means work is done by the system. Yes or no? So when delta V, so you have learned two things here. When delta V is negative, understand that work is done on the system. Delta V is negative, it is nothing but work of compression. And if delta V is positive, then it's a work of expansion, because here volume is increasing and here volume is decreasing. So if I put the value, negative value here, negative is what? Positive, that means work is done on the system. If I put a positive value here, then positive negative is what? Negative, that means work is done by the system. Are you following or not? I hope you have understood the application of basically the first law of thermodynamics with respect to isobaric process where pressure remains constant. So my dear friends, now this expression will depend upon value. So it depends upon delta V. So if delta V is negative, then negative into negative will become positive. That means work is done on the system, and that will increase the internal energy. But if this delta V is basically what? Positive, then positive into negative will be what? Negative only. That means work is done by the system, and the internal energy of the system will what? Decrease. So please remember this particular thing. So let's talk about now isochoric process. Okay. So in isochoric process is also called as isovolumetric process. Here in this process what happens? Value will be constant. That means change in value is what? 0. Okay. So my dear friends, then if I apply let me draw the first of all a graph between pressure and value here first. You know here, in previous case when I was drawing this line here means pressure is constant. But if value is constant here my dear friends, so a line will come like this. This will tell you that the pressure is changing. Let's suppose pressure is changing from, let's suppose P1 to P2. Correct? But value along this line, value is constant. Value is here fixed. This is the fixed value here along this line. So this is the graph for isochoric process between pressure and value. So my dear friends, now let's apply the first law of thermodynamics, delta U is equal to Q plus W, my dear friends. And we know that delta V is equal to 0 here. Okay, we are aware about it. So we know actually work is equal to minus P external delta V. That is the expression for the work. Okay, so remember this expression, let's put it here. So delta U is equal to Q. In place of work I will write a minus P external delta V. I know that the delta V, change in value is 0. So what is delta V here? Delta V is 0. Because which process? Isochoric. So I will put the value of delta V here. Delta U is equal to Q minus P. Delta V is nothing but 0. So this is 0 right out here my dear friends. So obviously I will get delta U is equal to Q. So for isochoric process, there is no role of work. In isobaric process you have seen there is a role of a heat as well as the role of the work with respect to internal energy of a system. Yes or no? But in case of isochoric process, there is a relationship between internal energy and heat. Work is not there. Why? Because the change in value is 0. When value is not changing, yes, so no work is done. No work is done. Okay? So no work is done on the system or by the system because change in value is 0, correct? So I put that change in value gets 0, then I finally got delta U is equal to Q. Q stands for here plus. That means heat absorbed by the system, yes, will change the internal energy. That means will increase the internal energy. So I will write down the statement here. Heat absorbed by system will increase internal energy of, is it visible here? Internal energy of the system. So my dear friends, you have understood here that change in heat, that's basically here, when heat is absorbed by the system, the internal energy of the system will change. And obviously that change is basically increase only. Heat absorbed by system will increase internal energy of the system. I can write down it in a opposite way also. Yes, what is that opposite way my dear friends? If I write down the same expression like this, what is the meaning of this? Heat lost by the system is equal to decrease in internal energy of the system. So So if I write down expression like this, delta U is equal to Q. So heat absorbed by the system is equal to increase in internal energy. Here the internal energy will increase of the system. And here heat lost by the system will decrease the internal energy of the system. Yes? So this is the decrease and this is the increase. And here the heat is absorbed and here the heat is lost. So heat is lost, heat is decreased, so internal energy also decreases. So this expression can be written like this also if we multiply both sides by minus. So this expression will become this. And it will become exactly opposite of this. Heat absorbed by system is equal to increase in internal energy of the system. And heat lost by the system is equal to decrease in internal energy of the system. I hope you have understood this thing. Dear friends, let's talk about now adiabatic process. So in adiabatic process, my dear friends, everybody knows that heat exchange between system and surroundings is zero. So there is no exchange of heat between system and surroundings, which means there is no gain of heat and there is no loss of heat. No gain and no loss of heat. So I can call it as zero. So heat is neither absorbed nor lost. In which process? Adiabatic process. So if we draw a graph here, it will be pressure versus value. So this is the graph for what? The adiabatic process, my dear friends. So this is the graph for the adiabatic process. Correct? Now let us understand it with respect to first law of thermodynamics, my dear friends. So what will be that? Have a look. Delta U is equal to Q plus W. Yes? So we know that in adiabatic process, Q is equal to 0. I'll tell in adiabatic process. There is no loss of heat and no gain of heat in adiabatic process because wall of the system will be adiabatic wall. Yes? So Q is equal to 0. So my expression will become delta U is equal to, in place of Q I will write down 0 here. So plus W. So delta U is equal to W. Yes, my dear friends? Now what is this W all about? Okay. Generally if it is a positive here, we will tell directly that work done on the system will increase the internal energy of the system. Yes. So I will write down here work done on the system because it's positive, work is positive, work done on the system increases internal energy of the system. So my dear friends, when you are doing the work on the system, the internal energy of the system will increase. So now my dear friends, if I multiply this delta U is equal to W by minus on both sides. So now you will have two expressions. Delta U is equal to W. This is one expression. If I multiply both sides by negative, just try to understand. So it will become like this. Here it means work done on the system will increase the internal energy of the system, and this is the work done by the system will decrease the internal energy of the system. So here work is done by the system and here the work is done on the system. So here internal energy is increasing and minus sign here means that internal energy is decreasing. Work done on the system, work done by the system. Work done on the system. Work done by the system. When work is done on the system, internal energy of the system will change. It will increase actually. It will increase. And when work is done by the system, system will lose the energy. So internal energy of the system will decrease, my dear friends. Actually, we got the expression delta U is equal to W. Then I multiplied both sides by minus and we got the exactly opposite, you know what, for expression as well. Please make note of this. Now let us talk about now isothermal process. isothermal process. Everybody is aware that in isothermal process temperature is constant. That means change in temperature is zero. Final and initial temperature will be same, so change is zero. This is isothermal process. Pressure versus volume. Correct? So obviously we are getting a graph like this. Have a look. So my dear friends, this is the graph for the isothermal process. Okay? Isothermal change or process we can tell. Now look here. If I use delta U is equal to Q plus W. Correct? And we know that delta U is equal to Q plus W here. Here we are just saying that delta T is equal to 0. We can relate it by one more equation here also. Have a look. When change in temperature is 0, we know that internal energy depends upon temperature. So, when delta T is 0, then delta U is also 0. Because internal energy depends upon temperature. Depends upon temperature. So when the change of temperature is 0, the change in internal energy will be also 0. So my dear friends, now look here. So delta U will be how much? 0. So this is 0 here. Is equal to Q plus W. Now, what is happening here? Q is equal to minus W. Or if you look here, if you transfer the Q here, then it will become what? Minus Q is equal to W. So these two expressions you will get here for the isothermal process. What is the meaning? Work done by the system. Yes, work is done by the system, and here system is absorbing the heat. So the heat absorbed by the system is equal to the work done by the system. That means system is absorbing the heat and doing the work. Yes or no? Here work done on the system means work is done on the system and simultaneously system is losing the heat. So here I will tell you minus W. Work, or shall I write it like this? Heat absorbed by the system, that is Q, is used to do the work. So whatever the heat is absorbed by the system is using that heat for doing the work. Yes or no? And here, try to understand. Work done on the system is the heat lost by the system. So look here once again, my dear friends. Heat absorbed by the system is used to do the work. And here work done on the system is the heat lost by the system. Okay? Or I can also tell you that the work done on the system will increase the internal energy of the system, and then that increase in internal energy will increase the temperature. But we know that temperature here in this process is constant. So that's why what is happening when you are doing the work on the system, internal energy will increase. But that increase in internal energy will be lost in the form of what? Heat. So that's why the internal energy will remain the constant. It will remain same, and temperature will also remain constant. Have a look. Work done on the system is the heat lost by the system, or is equal to the heat lost by the system. Let us suppose you are doing 1 kilojoule of work on the system. The same amount of heat energy is lost. If you are doing 1 kilojoule of work on the system, same amount of heat is lost. That means the total change in internal energy and the total change in the temperature will be how much? 0. So isothermal process. So my dear friends, remember here, work done on the system is equal to heat lost by the system. Yes. Let us suppose work done is basically here I am doing 1 kilojoule of work. So how much of heat is lost by the system? The same amount of heat is lost by the system. So overall change is what? 0. So that means delta T of the system will not change, and internal energy of the system will also not change, because work done on the system is equal to the heat lost by the system. We can say work done on the system is equal to heat lost by the system. I hope you have understood. And here heat absorbed by the system, yes, is equal to the work done by the system. Yes. So in this expression I can write down here, my dear friends. For this expression, heat absorbed by system is equal to work done by the system. So how much of heat you are absorbing? Let us suppose you are absorbing 1 kilojoule of heat, and how much of work you are doing? You are doing 1 kilojoule of work, because work is done by the system. So everything will remain constant now. Temperature will remain constant, so change in temperature is 0 and change in energy is also 0. I hope you have understood, my dear friends. Please make note of this. So my dear friends, now there is a question for you people. Okay. This question will mostly come in competitive exams. Have a look. Based on the applications of first law of thermodynamics. And what is the question? Please try to understand. So my dear friends, have a look here. Which one among the following represents, or which curve in this particular, PV graph represents the adiabatic process? We know that along this line we have read, this is isobaric. Let's call it as 1. Okay. Let's call it as 2, and let's call it as 3 and 4. And this line will represent isochoric process. So because here the value will be constant and here the pressure is constant. Pressure is constant along this line, and here along this line value is constant. So now the question is, between these two lines, which one will represent the adiabatic process and which one will represent the isothermal process? Because I have shown you, even for isothermal and for adiabatic, PV graph is almost similar. For isothermal and adiabatic, if you see the PV graph here and here, okay my dear friends, you will find out it is almost similar. Okay, so how can you differentiate that which one is adiabatic out of these two and which one is isothermal? So in order to understand this thing, let us do one small trick here. Please try to understand. Pressure versus value. Okay. Now my dear friends, let's draw two curves. And we are not aware that which one is isothermal or which one is what? Adiabatic. Correct? So in order to know this thing, let's understand certain things here. In this particular process, I will draw, try to understand, I will draw one line parallel to the x-axis. So I have drawn one line which is parallel to the x-axis. Remember, one line which is parallel to x-axis, in order to understand what is this and what is that. Let us call this curve as, let's suppose, AB, and let's call it as AC, this curve. I am trying to find out that which one is isothermal and which one is adiabatic. So try to remember. So I have drawn one line which is parallel to the x-axis. Then I will try to find out the angle in the clockwise direction. So this is the clockwise. Everybody knows that this is clockwise direction. So let us draw. Let's go in a clockwise direction. First of all, you take two curves. And in these two curves, you have to find out which one is isothermal, which one is adiabatic. So what you are doing, you are basically drawing a line actually, which is parallel to the x-axis. Then you are moving in a clockwise direction. This is clockwise. Okay? To find out the angle. So let us suppose the angle here is theta for the first one. Let me draw it once again here, these angles, to show you clearly what is going on. So let us suppose the angle in clockwise direction here for AB curve with respect to the line parallel to x-axis. Let us suppose this is theta 1. And now the angle for AC curve. Let us suppose this is theta 2. Okay. And let us see the magnitude of the angle here, my dear friends. Which one among them is bigger? So let us see the magnitude of angle or magnitude of theta. So in case of magnitude of theta, theta 2 is greater than theta 1. And theta 2 represents what? Theta 2 will represent which curve? AC curve. So theta 2 represents AC curve. And theta 1 represents AB curve. Yes? So remember, out of these two, the greater magnitude, the curve with the greater magnitude is basically adiabatic. So who has a greater magnitude? That is AC curve, magnitude of an angle. Yes? So I will write down here. AC curve has greater magnitude of an angle, that is theta 2. So it is adiabatic, and the AB curve is isothermal. So my dear friends, obviously this guy will have, if you look here also, this is theta 2 and this guy is here theta 1. So obviously, my dear friends, this has a greater magnitude, so I will call it as adiabatic curve, and this one is isothermal curve. I hope, my dear friends, you have understood this thing. So this has once come in competitive exams. So please remember, this is your isobaric, this is your isochoric process. But out of these two curves, this curve will have a greater slope, more slope actually. But if you don't talk in terms of slope, yes or no? So, or it may have a sharp fall. A curve with a sharp fall, you can tell, yes, that is your adiabatic curve. That way also you can understand, and through these angles also you can understand that which one is adiabatic and which one is isothermal. Please make note of this. Dear friends, I hope you have understood. So tomorrow we'll be talking about the enthalpy change, and that's a very interesting topic. Take care of yourself. Meet you tomorrow. Thank you.